Alrighty, y'all, we are headed to Jacksonville, Florida, and we are so pumped. It's about 3 hours of a drive from Webster, and we're really excited because two of our very best friends who were our old neighbors in Nashville and who camped with us this past weekend.
That you saw in last week's episode.
They're getting married, and this man is officiating their wedding. Hey y'all, we are Sean and Christina, and this is our therapy dog Nash. We left our home in Nashville, Tennessee to travel the U.S. in an RV and shine a bright spotlight on the incredible work that therapy dogs do across our country. Alrighty, you're good. Alrighty. Hey, Matt.
See you, Matt. Do you want the good news or do you want the bad news?
Bad news first.
Okay, so technically it's bad news and good news and good news.
Oh, then let's start with bad.
Okay, the bad news is pretty much everything like halfway through the drive did not record or the memory card failed. So all of our stuff pulling in, getting set up, it's all not there.
Nash, you can't run the camera anymore.
So that's the bad news.
That is not good news. Okay, give me the two good ones.
Okay, well, the other good news is we're all set up, as you know.
Which I'm very happy about.
Yep.
Yep.
We
got
everything.
The floors cleaned. Those were filthy after the rain yesterday.
And the other piece of good news, which is a surprise to you, they have Wits in Jacksonville.
No way.
And that's where we're going right now.
Wits is our absolute favorite custard place. There is one in Franklin, just outside of Nashville, and it's the best.
Yep, that's where we're going right now.
Oh my gosh.
Rock and roll, let's go.
Wits? Let's go. Ready? Go. We're going to Wits.
Nash, we gotta get to Wits, bud.
Everybody's got Wits.
Yeah. Probably.
Should I get him a doggy sundae? He's never had custard before. Oh, I'll get him whipped cream since he's had whipped cream. Does Mama have something for you? Oh!
Nash, we got you some Wits, buddy. Whoa. Oh man, look at that.
I think it's a milk bone. It's not a Nashies. Yum. Look it. See Daddy it. You got it?
There it is. I want to see you look at like Nash does.
Ew. Wow, I missed this.
Yeah, we can't get all sandy today.
Look at him, he knows. Where are you?
But I have a funny feeling that Nash is going to be going to the beach.
Oh, yeah.
RV living definitely has its interesting quirks. One of those is that you can't always have everything with you. And we had a wedding that we were planning on going to in December when we were going through Indianapolis as we were leaving Nashville. And it got canceled and moved to Zoom. And I have a suit, and I wear that at weddings and special events, that sort of thing. And we ended up on one of my trips back to Nashville to go to the dentist. I took it back with me and put it in our storage unit. And we have a small storage unit just for things that either we couldn't sell in time or things that we weren't willing to part with. I think I may have said this before, but my tool chest was one of them that I could not get rid of. Just, you know, you guys, you know how it goes. You spend your life collecting tools for random things, and the last thing you want to do is sell them. So I refused to, and I didn't. But anyways, the suit is at the storage unit. So I'm going to a board meeting. I'm leaving this morning in Salt Lake City. And this is Thursday when I'm recording this. And then Friday is the board meeting. And Saturday morning I get up and head to Nashville. So my flight lands at like 3 o'clock. And I've got about an hour and 40 minutes total before my next flight leaves to come back to Jacksonville, where we're at right now. I'm gonna head to the airport right now, and I'm gonna bring you along this trip because it's gonna be fast and furious. But let's see if I can make this happen and pull it off.
Thanks for taking me to the airport.
You're welcome. Oh my gosh. Do you remember what this is from?
Yeah, that's the chocolate from my ice cream that I may have missed my mouth on.
What do you think,
Oh,
baby?
Nash is taking me too. It's probably the closest I've ever been to an airport.
Wow.
6 minutes from where we're staying.
It's pretty incredible.
Pretty wild. Okay.
Wild, Nashy. You ready?
Put her in drive and roll, girl.
All right. Here we go, baby.
Can you believe that I'm going to be officiating a wedding?
No, but I'm so glad that you are.
I mean, I'm pretty nervous, to be very honest. I don't really like public speaking stuff.
You've come so far, though. At our wedding reception, when I thanked everybody for coming, and you didn't say anything until the very end, and you leaned into the microphone and go, "Thank you, guys." I knew we were in for it.
It was pretty funny.
You've spoke at investor meetings. You've spoke
I know,
at
but that's
Social
different,
Media Day in San Diego.
I'm like really confident in that because I know my stuff. But I mean, we've been married 8 years.
Been to numerous weddings.
So I guess we should be pros at it by now. You gonna miss me?
Always. You're a part of us.
Okay. Well, Nash, baby,
Nashy, love you. Your daddy's gonna go in the airplane.
I'm gonna miss you a little bit.
He's like, don't talk to me about it. You've done this 300 times before. Say bye to your puppy. He's the one that doesn't
Put the window
understand.
down.
Nashy, come over here and look at Dad.
Oh, Nashy, buddy, I'm sorry. I know you hate when I do this. Yes. Oh, you're a good puppy, though. That's a good puppy.
Oh,
Okay, love you, little buddy.
love
All right, love you mucho.
you. Love you, mucho.
Another smoocho. Bye, Nash. Bye, Nelsie. See you, buddy. That's the worst. That look he gives me. He totally knows that I'm leaving him.
Heading out on our own with our hope in the clouds, and we're starting to see that we're onto something. Feel it coming, we'll keep running, nothing in our way, and we got no reason to wait. Let the journey take you where it wants to. We'll continue to find our way through anything we face. We got what it takes.
I was taking a nap on the plane and I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot the storage unit keys. The keys to the lock at our storage unit. I literally forgot the most important thing and the reason I'm stopping through Nashville to get this suit for the wedding. I honestly, like, I still can't believe that I forgot it.
Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go. adventure begins.
Well, this has been a pretty crazy day. I'm definitely tired, glad to be at the hotel room. I'm gonna get some sleep, wake up tomorrow, go to our meeting, and then head back to the next hotel that's closer to the airport. And then first thing Saturday morning, we're gonna have some fun, and hopefully those keys get there. Christina sent me the tracking info, and they're supposed to be overnighted early AM, so I think they'll be there tomorrow morning. We'll find out. You're never gonna believe this, but we checked the tracking information this morning, and for some reason UPS didn't sort it at the right time or something. So Christina's working on the phone right now with UPS to figure out why it's not delivered this morning. So the saga continues.
Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day. It's ours to take and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
So here's the deal. This situation's awful. Christina's been on the phone this morning and we have no idea where this package is. They can't guarantee any delivery. I've got a flight out tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to change my flight. There's just a ton of logistics that we're gonna have to figure out. But just look at where I'm at. And I've got a wife that loves me and she is on my side to help me through this. And I can go into my meeting being confident knowing that she's gonna help me get this taken care of, and we're gonna figure it out. So whether I have to buy a new suit or if this still works to go through Nashville, we'll find out.
Here we go. Here we go.
Wow. I didn't expect this. It's been quite an adventure tracking down this package. I am gonna go get a workout in because I really, really need one. And then I had to push my flights back. So at this point, I am leaving on Monday at 6 o'clock. I'm hoping that the package arrives at the hotel. It says that it's going to by 8 AM, so we'll see. The tracking information looks like this morning it was updated and it's here in Salt Lake. So I'm not gonna be able to go get it or intercept the package. I've gotta wait for it to be delivered, but at least it's here. I'm hopeful that there's no more delays. I'm gonna drive up to Park City today because there's nothing else to do. I've got 2 days to kill. Fortunately, there was no change fees on my flights. I was able to extend the hotel with the points that I have racked up over the years, and it's not gonna really cost us any additional money. It's just a bunch of time, and not sure how this happened or why it happened, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I'm in a beautiful part of the country, so I'm gonna go do a little bit exploring, and you're gonna come with me.
Heading out on our own with our hope in the clouds. We're starting to see that we're onto something. Feel it coming now. Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day. It's ours to take and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
One of the things I was planning on doing when I got home from Salt Lake City was to finish the ceremony script for Brad and Morgan's wedding. And since it's Sunday and I got here on Thursday and I'm still in Salt Lake, I'm gonna finish that today. And I thought I'd bring you guys along with me as I do that so that you can hear some of what's gonna be in the ceremony, because we're not gonna be taking any cameras in there. But first, we need to introduce you to Brad and Morgan. And so they are our former neighbors in Nashville. We were both renting our houses and they were right next to each other. And we actually moved in within, I think, like a couple weeks of each other. So we pretty much lived there together the whole time from the duration of our lease. And we just hit it off from pretty much day one. So over the course of about a year, we just became really good friends. And we were out to dinner one night and they surprised me with a favorite bottle of bourbon that I have, which is Maker's 46. And they asked me to officiate their wedding ceremony. And at first I was really scared and nervous because I hate public speaking, as I've mentioned already. But after that wore off, I was really, really excited and so fortunate to number one, have somebody think of me in that way, but number two, to do something that I thought I would never have the opportunity to do. Let's dive into the script, and I wanted to start in one area. I'm not going to read through the whole thing because it's a little lengthy, but I wanted to just share some of the sections and kind of how I broke it down, because I had never written a script for a wedding before, and I'm sure you probably haven't either. I was really initially struggling with the balance of how much funny do I put in there versus how much seriousness. And at the end of the day, between Christina and myself and Brad and Morgan, we just have a lot of humor in our relationship, and it's just a fun one. So I have to include some things in there, and I think I've got a couple good ones in there that still allow it to be serious, but it's still funny enough. So after I get through the little intro and talking about, you know, how special marriage is and that sort of thing, I get into explaining who I am, because most of the people there, if not almost everyone, is gonna have no idea. So what I say here is, at this point, most of you are probably wondering who I am and how I made my way to talking in front of you today. Well, it's actually a funny story that started about 5 hours ago when I met Brad in the Crocs aisle at Target. Just kidding. My wife and I were actually their old neighbors in Nashville. And as you can see by me standing here, we quickly became lifelong friends, and I'm so grateful that they chose me to share this incredible moment with them. And so here's the funny context to that probably everybody at the wedding will get, is that Brad and Morgan love their Crocs, and Christina will not let me get a pair. Even though they have black camo, which is literally my favorite color right now, or series of colors, I don't know what that is, but it's just so funny because we just have this little inside joke about Crocs, and I think people will hopefully think that that's funny. So then it goes on, and one of the things which I've included in one video, and it's really, really short, and you probably didn't hear it, which is part of a larger brand actually, and just a fun thing, kind of in the country music world, if you will, and that's called Yee Yee. So there's this whole brand called Yee Yee Apparel. It's part of Granger Smith and Earl Dibbles Jr., which is his alter ego. If you've never heard of that, go look it up. You're gonna go down a rabbit hole that's absolutely amazing. But we say Yee Yee to each other all the time. So I included that in there because I had asked Brad and Morgan if I could, and they never really did give me an answer, but we're doing it anyways. That section goes, now Brad and Morgan have asked that I keep the ceremony short, classy, and family friendly. I did ask permission to say Yee Yee, which has fast become probably the best two-word combination ever created. So there it is, Yee Yee. And I've also been asked to leave out unflattering and embarrassing stories from our time as neighbors. So I definitely won't tell you about the time that Morgan called me to let her out of her chicken coop because she accidentally locked herself in. Of course, Morgan, I definitely wouldn't bring that up and talk about it. And since Brad is the most epic dude on the planet, there's really nothing to report there. So that was pretty funny because Morgan literally called me, which was strange because why wouldn't she call Christina, and why wasn't Brad letting her out of the chicken coop because he was at home? So allegedly, Brad was sleeping, she was outside letting her chickens in or out or something, and she locked herself in, and Christina was sleeping or something too and didn't answer her phone. So she called me, and initially I was like, this is really weird. Did someone get hurt, or why is she calling me? And she calls me and she's like, hey, are you home? I was like, yep. She's like, can you come let me out of the chicken coop? And I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? It's so funny. Overall, I decided to really just kind of break this down into a couple sections. The first section is really like the intro and what I just went through, where I talk a little bit about myself, and then share just a couple funny stories. And then from there, we talk about love and God's creation for marriage, and just kind of, general aspects around that. So just a couple scriptures in there. And then we get to the vows, and they're actually writing their own vows, which is amazing and something I highly encourage everybody to do instead of having just the default vows. Take the time to do it. And I think most people don't, because they're like how I feel about this whole thing, which is just really nervous of public speaking and doing that. And then we go through the formal piece, which is, the I do's. And then after there, they exchange the rings, talk about the rings being a symbol of love and commitment. From there, we basically just give a little bit of a closing, talking about a little extended piece on love and how it takes commitment and that sort of thing to have a successful marriage. And then at the end, what everybody knows, having Brad kiss his bride. And then we're done, and we move into the party part of the reception. I think it's gonna go over pretty well, and I'm excited for where this is at right now. I do have a little bit more polish that I'm gonna put on it before I'm done, But I'm gonna get that knocked out, and then first thing tomorrow morning, I'm gonna go down to the front desk, hopefully get the keys, head to the airport, get to Nashville, get in the storage unit, get my suit, get a dress for Christina, get my shoes, lock it back up, head back to the airport, and then get back to Jacksonville so that we can have some fun at the end of the week. It's been a busy morning here in Salt Lake. I just got to the airport. The keys arrived this morning at about 8 a.m. and I was supposed to have a 6 o'clock flight out, but I was able to get it bumped up to 10. So I still might get home tonight, but the plan at this point is to stay in Nashville for the night.